Good day, Sir Moralia, Professor Tan, and Professor Mirabel. We are the Group 1 of BSIT 3B and we will be presenting our capstone project, Android mobile game, SurBYE. And my name is Earl Alexis Ignacio, the lead programmer of the group.
Hello, my name is Xandra and I'm one of the researcher of the Group 1.
I'm Maria Caroline D. Cabrera, one of the researchers and the 3D object creator.
And now, Miss Maria Sandra ko will be discussing the introduction of the study.
In today's generation, mobile games are becoming a bigger part of daily life for many people across the globe, wherein the number of mobile game users are continuously increasing. According to Mobile Gaming Statistics 2020, the number of active mobile game users worldwide is 2.2 billion. In the Philippines, we have 26 million, and as per 2025, we expect to have 29 million mobile gaming users, as per Statista 2020. Mobile games play a part in everyone's life, especially now that some countries are still in a grip of pandemic. And many uses them as a means to cope with stress. Coronavirus is also known as COVID-19. It started in Wuhan, China, way back in December 2019. It is an infectious disease that is affecting the whole world, including the Philippines. Given the rapid spread of the virus, the government imposed lockdown and implemented rules and protocols to restrict the virus transmission. Therefore, a pandemic brought an effect to the mobile game industry, wherein it led more people to engage with mobile games. According to Mobile Gamer Statistics 2021, the users spend their 90% mobile usage on applications and games. Mobile games are ways of people to reduce stress and to provide entertainment for themselves. As a result, the researchers will develop a game that is both timely and connected to this pandemic. The title of the game was derived from the word survival, which is the primary objective of the game, which is to survive and to stay alive until the end of the game. The word "by" is highlighted because the game would end if the player did not make it until the end. And the last syllable is Val. Val is the name of the character of the game. The game allows the users to experience the struggles and conflicts that may occur outside. Practice the protocols that needs to be followed in order to prevent contracting of the virus. It also shows the consequences that may occur if the standards are not followed. And lastly, the game achieves to give the users awareness and guidance about the COVID-19 protocols. Who will benefit the game? The researchers believe that the game would be a big help for the community in a way that the game could educate and inform the people about the protocols and rules that is existing today. The children will also benefit from the game, especially today that they are not allowed to go outside. Through the game, it will let them experience the real-life situations in a way that they can roam over the city with proper protocols of COVID-19. And now let us have Mr. Earl Alexis Ignacio for the statement of the problem.
As time passes by, the newly discovered coronavirus had been more rampant. Individuals had been affected from all ages. However, some people are still neglecting the possible risks of COVID-19, resulting in their lack of awareness about the protocols and guidance of the virus. And now I will be discussing about the specific problems. And the first one, how to develop a game that will create awareness and enlighten the people about the risks of a pandemic. And for the second one, how to design a game that will enlighten the community about the consequences when one does not follow the protocols and guidelines of COVID-19. For the third one, how to create a game that will inform people the guidelines that must be followed when avoiding the virus. And the last one, how to design a game that will show to the community that during a pandemic, a simple way of giving and caring can help a person's life.
I'll be discussing the scopes and limitations of the study. But first, we will discuss the scopes of the game. The first one is the levels. The game covers levels in which the player should unlock all the levels based on the difficulties per level. Next one is background music and sound effects. The game has background music and sound effects that will match the animation and scenarios in the game. Next one is downloadable. The game can be downloaded via Google Play Store. Next one is 3D graphics. The game is on a 3-dimensional graphics that will give the players a better look at the scenes when it comes to the graphics. The next one is character appearance or fashion. The game allows the player to change the character's face mask, for which the player must collect coins and purchase it from a shop. Next is camera rotation controls. The game will allow the player to change the camera angles of the character. Next one is movement and controls. All the movement of the character will be based on analog controls and buttons. Next one is collectibles such as power-ups, coins, and alcohols. For the power-ups, the player should collect power-ups that will protect the player's life, such as potions that have different effects that will give Val an upper hand against the enemies. Next one is coins. The player should collect coins in order to purchase a face mask in the shop. The last one is alcohol. The alcohol is one of the game's conditions for progressing to the next level, because the player will not be able to enter an establishment without it. Next is game flow. Survival is a third-person adventure game that will thrust the player into the role named Val, who lives in a city with COVID-19 cases. The player's goal is to complete the levels without hitting an obstacle, such as people who are not wearing face masks on the road, in which this will demonstrate proper social distancing. Also, the player can acquire power-ups along the way to protect himself from having the virus, and as well as coins to spend in purchasing face masks in the shop. For the tutorial, this will help the player to know the gameplay, in which it will contain the step-by-step instructions about the directions, the movement, the rules, and the objectives in the game. For the menu, this will contain the level select of the game, the shop, and the settings. For the select level, the player will be able to see the numbers of level that are needed to be accomplished. Next one is settings. The player will be able to adjust freely the background music and sound effects of the game. Last one is hardware requirements. The minimum requirement for the Android version is Android 8.0, or which is the Oreo. For the ROM, the minimum requirement is 4 GB and the recommended ROM is 8 GB to have a smoother gameplay. Then the memory is 160 MB. Next is I'll be discussing the limitations of the study. The first one is operating systems. The game cannot be played on different platforms and operating systems such as Windows and iOS. It can only be played on Android with a version of 8.0 or Oreo. Next is online features. The game does not have online features such as multiplayer, in-app purchases, leaderboard, and updates. The last one is cheats and Easter eggs. The game will not be encoded with cheats and it will not contain Easter eggs on the gameplay.
And now, Earl, Alexis, Ignacio will demonstrate the game.
So now we will be presenting the demo for the game. Here is the shop, settings, and the play button. Proceeding to this level select, and then after selecting the level, we can now go to inside the game. Now inside the game is first the tutorial. You can see that you can use the joystick to move, and then swipe the screen to look around, or to rotate the camera. Now we have unlocked the sprint button to make you move faster. Now the objective of the game is to reach the goal and avoid other people to maintain social distancing. Now when getting inside the establishment, it is important to have an alcohol, almost a requirement. Now you can see that when he tries to get inside the goal, he cannot because he still has no alcohol. Now he must find the alcohol, which is located at the back of the room. Now when he has gotten the alcohol, he can now proceed inside the goal, and almost always make sure to avoid the other people, avoid getting infected. Now you have reached inside the goal and the level is complete. The tutorial is now finished and we will proceed to the level 1. Now this is the stage for level 1. His objective is to get to the supermarket. Of course, he has to find his alcohol first before he proceeds to the supermarket. There are also collectibles in the game, which are coins, and this is the currency that is used to purchase face masks and other cosmetics in the game. And this is also to showcase the level design of the game. Now the alcohol is now present, we can now proceed to the goal, but always make sure that you are not detected by the enemy. And now he can now proceed to the goal and finish the level. Since he has met the requirements of the game, he can now proceed. And then we will be showcasing what would happen if the enemy detects you. A red vignette will show around the screen to notify that you are detected by the enemy. And when you are caught or within the enemy's range, it is game over, because you will be infected. Also, when there is a game over, you will see that there's a random trivia about the COVID-19 to inform the people. And that's all.